farmers prepare for a season of growth. Thank you for joining us. I'm Taylor Johnson. Hoosier farmers are preparing for the upcoming harvest, even in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, and many are working toward a healthy harvest. Harsh weather conditions and heavy rain made it difficult for local farmers to get started on the farms, and farmers at B&Ag Farm had to replant their crops. Providence Farms, fortunately, saw an uptick in business during the COVID-19 meat shortage. Both farmers say they're optimistic about their crops and livestock.
Then as we moved into the end of May, here now into June, we've been able to fix those issues with those fields and get the fields replanted. And all in all, the crop looks pretty well. We're pretty happy with the crops, and just be ready for a rain here one of these days.
People are going to take very seriously accounting for where their food's going to come from in the future months. So we're here to serve that need.
Both farmers say, fortunately, they were able to stay healthy and distanced from others to prevent the possible spread of the coronavirus. Mourners are paying their respects to a former Indiana University football player murdered during recent riots. Chris Beatty was shot and killed in Indianapolis on May 30th. Police haven't released many details about his death. The visitation took place at the Indianapolis Pavilion at Pan Am Friday, and a private funeral was held today. His nephew, Jared Thomas, described Beatty as someone who connected well with others.
Go on Google and search his name. There's so many people that have just showed so large amounts of love for him. And that was just a testament to his impact and the things and the ways that he connected with so many. And so from that perspective, I think he was just someone that was just more than willing to go out of his way to build a relationship with someone.
A $100,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest and prosecution in Beatty's death. Countless people across the nation continue to protest for police reform today, weeks after the in-custody death of George Floyd. Hundreds of people flooded the streets of downtown Philadelphia, calling for more effort in the pursuit of change. In New York City, dozens gathered in Washington Square Park to protest against police brutality. Several protesters rallied together outside of City Hall in Minneapolis, Minnesota, urging lawmakers to pursue a new model for public safety. And in Richmond, Virginia, hundreds of protesters marched to the Robert E. Lee Memorial for the Virginia's 5,000-man march. Many demonstrators chanted, "Tear it down," while at the Confederate monument.
So if you're a good cop, I challenge you right now to point out the bad ones. Get them out. I don't want to hear nothing about you don't want to go get your own people. Well, if you don't want to go against them, then you're going against me and the rest of us that's out here.
Demonstrations also took place today in Chicago. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation released security video of an officer-involved shooting at a Wendy's in Atlanta late last night. We will warn you that some of this video may be hard to watch. Surveillance video seen here shows two officers chasing 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks. In the video, you see them chasing Brooks through the Wendy's parking lot, one officer with a weapon drawn. The 27-year-old then turns around while holding what appears to be one of the officer's taser, which authorities say he wrestled away moments earlier during a struggle. Brooks appears to be pointing the taser at the officer when he was shot by police. He was transported to a nearby hospital where he later died. As a result, the city's police chief has resigned from her position.
Chief Shields has offered to immediately step aside as police chief, so that the city may move forward with urgency in rebuilding the trust so desperately needed throughout our communities.
Both officers involved have been removed from duty pending the outcome of an investigation by Georgia State Police. Coronavirus cases in Indiana are 20 less than yesterday. The Indiana State Department of Health reports 432 new cases today. Friday, there were 452. 17 new deaths have been reported also. Over 39,500 Hoosiers have COVID-19 statewide, and more than 2,200 have died. In our area, Vigo County still has the highest number of positive cases, closing in at nearly 200. Greene County has the highest number of deaths at 28. In Illinois, for the second day in a row, Crawford County is reporting new COVID-19 cases. Right now, they have 17 positive cases total, and 11 people have recovered there. Statewide, over 670 new cases are reported, along with 29 additional deaths. Statewide, Illinois has seen over 131,800 positive cases of COVID-19 and over 6,200 deaths. And for the first time since World War II, there will be no Illinois State Fair this summer. The state announced the cancellations are because of the pandemic. Governor J.B. Pritzker said months ago that it was unlikely that the state fair would happen, but the director of the Department of Agriculture says they did try to make it work.
Absolutely attempts to try to have the state fair, and we were hoping that things would get better, change a little bit. They have progressively gotten better, but logistically we're at a point because of staffing and other things to where a decision had to be made one way or the other.
The livestock shows that normally happen at the fair are pushed back to mid-September, and those who already bought passes to the fair can contact the state fair office. President Trump touched down in Marine One on the grounds of West Point Academy today. He was there to deliver the commencement speech to graduating cadets. In the age of social distancing, gone were the stands full of parents, friends, and loved ones. Cadets sat in chairs spaced 6 feet apart, and families watched from home via a live stream. The president's speech to the 1,100 grads centered on unity, diversity, and proudly serving one American nation. He also took the time to thank the military for their response to the COVID-19 pandemic.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all members of America's armed forces in every branch, active duty, National Guard, and Reserve, who stepped forward to help battle the invisible enemy, the new virus, that came to our shores from a distant land called China.
Instead of shaking hands with the president, graduates stepped on a platform before the main stage to salute. And one local bowling alley is letting the good times roll for first responders. The Terre Bowling Center reopened yesterday as part of Stage 4 of Governor Eric Holcomb's Back on Track Indiana plan. The bowling alley's director of operations says since they're open again, he wanted to do something nice. And they're doing that by letting first responders bowl for free. He says this was the least they could do for those who have sacrificed so much for our community.
And we hope all first responders can come in and enjoy themselves and kind of break up the hectic time that they've had here in the last 3 months.
Responders can bowl their way to a strike any day between now and the end of June at Terre Bowling Center from 6 to 10 p.m. Coming up, a sweet reunion of a couple after being separated due to COVID-19. And later in sports, the third round of the Charles Schwab Challenges is in the books. Omar has the highlights in just a bit.